Reporting from Arkham Asylum, this is Gotham Rogues. In this video, we count down the 5 greatest Batman the Animated Series villains. Batman the Animated Series. It was the brainchild of Bruce Timm, and I'd say it's probably the greatest American action cartoon show ever made. With mature themes, sophisticated storytelling, and a visual style heavily influenced by Art Deco and film noir, Batman the Animated Series stands head and shoulders above all other Saturday morning cartoons. This series is still to this day considered by many to surpass the live-action Batman movies, and by some, even the actual comics. One of the many things this show did so well was the villains. Yes, there's several great episodes that focus on the Dark Knight, but often it was the rogues who were the true stars. A lot of them were perfect adaptations of their comic book counterparts, and some were even greatly improved upon. On this list, I present to you the 5 very best ones. Of course, this is just my opinion, and if yours differs, write your own list in the comments. Number 5. The Mad Hatter. In the comics, Jervis Tetch, aka the Mad Hatter, have rarely been an interesting character. He's usually portrayed as a pure evil creep who poses only a fairly mild level of threat to Batman. If your villain is going to be unsympathetic, he really needs to be one hell of a dangerous badass, otherwise he's just going to come off as an unlikable loser. And unfortunately, that's usually the case with Tetch in the comics. He's never been an A-list Bat-rogue, nor has he been fully explored very often. He didn't even have an origin story until 2013, for Christ's sake. However, there's one place where the Mad Hatter is actually a great character, and that's in Batman the Animated Series. On the show, Jervis is voiced by Roddy McDowall, an actor mostly known for the first Lassie movie, the original Planet of the Apes film series, and the Fright Night movies. The Hatter's first episode, called Mad as a Hatter, is written by Paul Dini, and it introduces Jervis Tetch as a scientist working at Wayne Enterprises. There, he's officially developing technology that will improve the brain's potential. However, secretly, he's actually been working on mind control microchips. Jervis is a huge Alice in Wonderland enthusiast, and he just so happens to have a secretary named Alice, whom he's madly in love with. Though to his dismay, she sees him as nothing more than a friend, and she actually already has a boyfriend. After finding out about an argument Alice and her boyfriend had, Jervis misinterprets it as a breakup and makes his move on her.
Good evening, Miss Pleasance. I'm here to help you forget your recent heartbreak. Gotham can be a wonderland, Alice.
She still won't see him as anything more than a friend though, and when Tetch learns that there never was a breakup, he snaps.
I'm getting married. Jervis, your hand.
Oh, it's nothing. Forget it.
He decides to use his mind control technology to make Alice his. With this episode, the Mad Hatter got an actual origin story 2 decades before he ever had one in the comics. Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, and the other creators of Batman the Animated Series also portrayed Jervis Tetch as a far more layered and complex villain than he had ever been before. He was finally an actual character and not just a walking hat gimmick. After his first episode, the Hatter made several more appearances, and he was easily one of the most strange, whimsical, and wonderfully oddball rogues on the show.
It's not real! Are you the dreamer, or merely part of someone's dream? That was just the question Tweedledee put to Alice in Through the Looking.
This isn't some silly storybook!
But it is. It's a beautiful story. You have love, wealth, a family, all you ever wanted. Your own private wonderland.
No!
Number 4. The Joker. Batman the Animated Series marked the start of Mark Hamill's aka Luke Skywalker's career as the voice of the Dark Knight's nemesis, the Joker. I like Hamill's work the best here, as I feel that his Joker voice fits the tone of this series perfectly.
No one can copyright fish. They're a natural resource.
But they share my unique face. Colonel What's-His-Name has chickens, and they don't even have mustaches.
On the show, Joker is Batman's arch enemy, just like in every other piece of media they've both appeared in. Along with the Penguin, Joker is the only villain who doesn't get an introductory episode, where his origin and first encounter with Batman is showcased. Instead, he's immediately established in his first episode, Christmas with the Joker, as one of the most well-known, fearsome, and craziest criminals in the city. Just like Penguin, Joker's clearly had several run-ins with the Dark Knight long before the series started. The creators of the show did an excellent job in adapting the Clown Prince of Crime for the small screen. He's essentially a perfect interpretation of his comic book counterpart, a sadistic, psychotic, murderous maniac with a morbid yet hilarious sense of humor. He's playful and deadly at the same time, just like the Joker should be.
Oops! Sorry, force of habit.
Sure, the darkness of the character had to be toned down a bit, as it was after all a Saturday morning cartoon. For example, we never see Joker actually kill someone, since that was prohibited by the show's censors. However, he certainly did try many times. The series also greatly explored the whole idea of the Joker being obsessed with playing a cat and mouse game with Batman, even establishing that as his main motivation for committing crimes.
Where is he? He's never been this late before. There's a certain rhythm to these things. I cause trouble, he shows up. We have some laughs and the game starts all over again.
I'm not sure if I'd say the animated series offers the best adaptation of the Joker, but it's certainly a contender.
Oh, I don't know why you changed your name to Don Wallace and moved your family to 12 Marigold Lane, Springdale, Ohio. One might think you were trying to skip out on our little deal. Leave the sideburns.
How did you find me?
Oh, I never lost you, Chaz. You've become my hobby.
Number 3. Two-Face. Two-Face is voiced by Richard Mole, a character actor known for his many roles in numerous TV shows, most notably the sitcom Night Court. Harvey Dent is introduced early in the series as Gotham's DA and Bruce Wayne's best friend. He appears a few times in a small role until he finally gets a 2-part episode of his own, which shows his transformation into Two-Face. This 2-parter is written by Alan Burnett and features without a doubt some of the most sophisticated and dark writing ever seen in a Saturday morning cartoon. The 2 episodes, simply titled Two-Face Part 1 and Two-Face Part 2, establishes that Harvey Dent has deep psychological scars, which has led to the development of a second, dark, and violent personality within Harvey's psyche. We see him struggle with these mental issues as he's running for DA in the new election, fighting mob boss Rupert Thorne, and planning his future with his loving fiancée, Grace Lamont. He simply has too much weight on his shoulders, which causes him to snap more and more.
Harv, take it easy. This kind of behavior doesn't go over well with the voters.
Let go of me, you rich twit!
Harvey!
Grace, Bruce, I'm sorry. I don't know what... Excuse me.
Wanting to get rid of his main enemy, Rupert Thorne manages to get his hands on Dent's psychiatrical files and then blackmails him by threatening to release the files to the public. It doesn't go as Thorne had expected though, as Batman intervenes, which leads to a big fight and to the disfigurement of half of Harvey's body.
Harvey. No.
After the shocking experience, Dent's evil personality takes over and he leaves his old life behind.
Goodbye, Grace.
As Two-Face, Harvey begins a full-scale assault on Thorne's criminal establishments in a quest for vengeance and justice. All the while, his best friend Bruce and his fiancée Grace wants nothing more but to rehabilitate him and bring him back to sanity. Two-Face is another example of a villain who was adapted from the source material perfectly for this series. He's a tragic monster torn between good and evil, who there's still some hope for that he may one day once again become the man he used to be. An interesting change though is that Bruce Timm and company made Bruce Wayne Harvey's friend instead of Batman. In the comics, it's Batman who's a close ally of Harvey Dent, and he has very little to no relation with Wayne. In the animated series, it's the opposite. This somehow makes it more personal and more important for Bruce to save his friend.
I want to help you.
Help me? You don't know anything about me.
I know that you have friends, Harvey. Friends who love and care about you.
Harvey's friends are no friends of mine.
What about Grace?
Grace?
In my opinion, this is the best version of Two-Face outside of the comics that we've ever seen so far. Sorry, Nolan.
My coin. Where is it? I can't decide without... Oh no, it's gotta be here. It's gotta... I have to have it!
It's all right now, Harvey. I'm here.
Number 2. Mr. Freeze. In the comics, Mr. Freeze was nothing more than a two-dimensional, stereotypical mad supervillain with an ice gimmick. Lacking any form of depth and true motivations, Freeze was essentially just a guy with a cold gun and a dome on his head. So, when Bruce Timm and company were to adapt Freeze for their animated show, they had very little to work with. In order to make him an interesting character, they had to construct an entire new backstory and origin for Freeze. His introductory episode called Heart of Ice is written by Paul Dini, and Freeze is voiced by Michael Ansara, an actor known mostly for his many roles in TV shows, including Broken Arrow, Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and Star Trek. In the episode, Mr. Freeze is a new supervillain in town who's attacking several divisions of GothCorp, each time stealing a piece of tech which he's later going to use in the construction of a giant ice gun. Batman, who's on the case, discovers that Freeze is actually Dr. Victor Freeze, a former cryogenicist who used to work at GothCorp. Victor's wife, Nora, was dying of a terminal illness, and in order to save her, he had her frozen down in cryosleep while he used company resources to search for a cure. However, the CEO of GothCorp, Ferris Boyle, didn't approve of the use of his money for Victor's personal issues. Boyle and his cronies stormed into Victor's lab and shut the project down, but not before Freeze could put up a fight, which led to a violent confrontation between the scientist and Boyle.
No! Stay away from her! Murderer!
In the struggle, Victor was covered in chemicals, which deformed his body and made him unable to survive in an environment above 0 degrees.
Get out! Get out! Nora! Nora!
With his wife gone, Victor became a cold man, both figuratively and literally, and his attacks on GothCorp are part of a revenge plot against Boyle.
The snow is beautiful, don't you think? Clean, uncompromising,
And cold.
like the swift hand of vengeance.
Mr. Freeze didn't make many appearances on the show, but despite that, he left a huge impact on people. This new, tragic interpretation of him was adapted by all other forms of media in which he appeared, including the comics, video games, and even the atrocity called Batman and Robin.
Soon we will be together once more. Soon.
Completely gone was the old generic ice-themed supervillain, as it was replaced by the animated series version. It's kind of amazing how now this is the Freeze everybody thinks of when they think about the character. It's almost impossible to imagine a Mr. Freeze without a tragic love story with a woman called Nora. It's become synonymous with him, and it all started here, in the episode Heart of Ice. Paul Dini and the other creators of Batman the Animated Series deserve huge praise for taking one of the Dark Knight's silliest and least interesting villains and turning him into one of the most compelling, tragic, and sympathetic ones.
Think of it, Batman. To never again walk on a summer's day with a hot wind in your face and a warm hand to hold. Oh yes, I'd kill for that.
And that's the real reason why I put Freeze in the number 2 slot on this list, the massive improvement this series made with him.
Forever beautiful. Rest well, my love. The monster who took you from me will soon learn that revenge is a dish best served cold.
And now for the greatest rogue ever featured on Batman the Animated Series. Number 1. Harley Quinn. Yes, since she didn't appear earlier on the list, I bet many of you figured out this one. As most of you probably know, Harley was created for this very show. Voiced by Arlene Sorkin, a TV actress mainly known for her role on Days of Our Lives, Harley made her first appearance in the Paul Dini penned episode Joker's Favor. At first, her role was fairly small and she acted mainly as the Joker's sidekick / girlfriend. But as the series progressed, Harley's presence grew. We even got several episodes that focused more on her than the Joker.
Oh, the irony of it. The grim, stalwart Dark Knight and his greatest female adversary fighting together to save the city.
When Harley was introduced, she didn't have an origin. That actually came in the comics. It wasn't in the regular Batman comics though, but in the Batman Adventures, the series that was spun off from the show. The story was titled Mad Love and was published as a special 66-page graphic novel in 1994, written by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm and penciled by Bruce Timm. This story was, however, adapted for the show during the last season, when the series had gone through some drastic visual changes. I'm not a fan of that season, but the Mad Love episode is great. Anyway, according to her origin story, Harley Quinn was originally Harleen Quinzel, a new doctor at Arkham Asylum. She was assigned to the Joker, and during their sessions, the Clown Prince of Crime slowly manipulated and seduced the young naive woman until she fell head over heels in love with him. She then took on the persona of Harley Quinn and helped the Joker escape Arkham, becoming his trusty sidekick and girlfriend in the process. Although she's madly in love with him, he doesn't really care too much about her. Joker is mainly just using Harley, as she can sometimes be useful to him. And that's what's both so sad and funny at the same time. Harley has been completely duped into seeing the Joker as some kind of poor, misunderstood victim, when in truth, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. Their love story is a tragic comedy in the truest sense. Should you laugh or cry at her innocent dreams of a picturesque suburban family life together with Joker, something which obviously could never come true. However, every now and then he does show signs of some sort of affection for her, which just makes their relationship all the more interesting. Half of what makes Harley so great, particularly on this show, is her insane relationship with Mr. J.
Baby, you're the greatest.
The other half is just how fun and entertaining she is to watch. Really, she works just as well on her own or teaming up with Poison Ivy.
Could have fooled me. Hey, aren't you that plant lady, Poison Oakie?
Ivy! Poison Ivy!
Sorry. Harley Quinn, pleased to meet ya.
There's never a dull moment while Harley is on the screen. And while a lot of that is the writing, I also have to give major props to Arlene Sorkin, whose ditzy, heavily Brooklyn accented voice kind of makes Harley Harley.
See? Do I know how Mr. J thinks or what? Ha! And here you thought I was just another bubble-headed blonde bimbo. Well, the joke's on you. I'm not even a real blonde.
That voice is so synonymous with the character that every actress playing her since has done an impersonation of it, including Margot Robbie in the Suicide Squad movie. While I do like some of the other interpretations of Harley Quinn, it's really here on the animated series where she still to this day, in my opinion, remains the best.
Grab on.
I can do it myself, thank you. Ha ha! Ow! Ha ha!
So, there you have it. Those are the 5 greatest Batman the Animated Series villains. And remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.